Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome. Now, in this particular video today, I'm going to teach you how to utilize AI, specifically Google Gemini, as well as Google Veo3, which is also a Google product, except for one generates images, which is Google Gemini, and the one that generates videos is Google Veo3. Now, if you've been following the AI space, then you'd know that Google Gemini has taken a strong, huge leap when it comes to the past couple of months, should I say the past 4 or 5 months. Ever since the introduction of Google Nano Banana, plus they had already introduced Google Veo 3, now Google Veo 3.1 with a slight improvement, but this is the ultimate VFX revolution when it comes to AI, because before there wasn't many VFX effects that you can do, right? And there is no better way to learn than to practice, which is why we're going to have to go and practice. Now, over here, that actually is me, okay? Well, you can see that that's myself. So, how come I look like I'm chased by Godzilla and it looks like a Hollywood movie, sort of, okay? And this image, I managed to create it by copying another creator and by simply replacing him with myself. Plus, I changed my clothing using AI. So you can now use Google Gemini to put you in whatever clothes you want to be in. All right. So that is just that. And I have a particular video for you, which I have created. Let me download it at full screen. That kind of shows how I transformed that image into a video of myself being chased by Godzilla, and I escaped in a hilarious way. All right, so let's just pause this for a second. I need to activate the sounds. All right, there we go. Now, the quality is HD, and so therefore, let's get to it. 8 seconds. It's just 8 seconds. That was kind of funny, right? Now let me just replay it while I sip a cup. I take a sip of my cup of coffee while we're having fun here. Another time. We need to repeat this another time. And that last moment, I ran in a hilarious way. That was kind of funny, and you can see that it's really awesome, right? So how can we generate stuff like this now? Because I already did the Godzilla example, I'm gonna do a different one. All right, so I'm gonna do one where I'm going to be on King Kong's head. Okay. So, first and foremost, you need to go to Google and search for a particularly nice image. So, King Kong. Now, King Kong, of course, there's a bunch of images of him, but the ones I'm going to take are the real deal King Kong, not that fake King Kong, that small King Kong version from 2005 when he fought the T Rexes. Because for those that know what's going on, the T-Rex is nothing compared to King Kong. Okay, so I'm not gonna be a nerd on this show and go about starting to defend. But King Kong generally is a lot bigger than this, right? He certainly is a lot bigger. So on that show in 2005, they took the baby, or maybe toddler, but they took a very small version of King Kong back when he was still very young, a couple of months old, that is. So he was not the real deal King Kong that we see in Godzilla, because King Kong is pretty much the same size as Godzilla. They're very close. And actually, I think that he can grow taller than Godzilla because he can. He's pretty much a monkey, a gorilla. All right, so I'm going to take some pictures of King Kong, but again, as I said, taking pictures of the real deal King Kong, not the fake one. And then you come to basically to Gemini, you paste an image or two. Now I'd like something cool. So I'm gonna search Kong versus Godzilla, and right here there's gonna be a bunch of images. Kong versus Godzilla. This one, okay, this one is good because I mean he's pretty much the same size as mountains. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to isolate a pretty good picture where he just looks massive. Okay. Now this one is also pretty nice because he has that axe with the Godzilla scales, with the Godzilla powers. Now I'm just attaching the images here. Now this is a very crucial step. Don't get it wrong. This is a crucial step. The next step is for me to attach an image of myself. So I'm gonna go and actually, I think I could probably find some particularly good images of me. I don't know. Yep, this one. I think so. Yeah, that one. It's actually a picture where I have glasses and I have a jacket. And by the way, this is a fake. Okay, so I wasn't wearing that jacket, and I was not certainly wearing those glasses. So, and that was not my haircut. Even though I could I could have that kind of haircut, but the face is mine, the body is mine, except for I just made some changes using Gemini to make me pretty much wear fancier clothes and better glasses and so on and so forth. So that's just some trick I use for dating. Okay, well, if you want to consider it a bad trick or not, I don't care. I'm just kind of having some fun here with AI. So as you can see, these are some pretty cool pictures. So now we can click again on the create images because when you go back and forth, so if you click on the create image here and you go back here to Google and you come back, you'll notice it goes away. And so you always have to make sure that this Nano Banana tool is out there, that you're able to use it. So right now, I'm going to say the following. I'm going to say generate a realistic, real life, 4K, Hollywood style, close up image of me sitting sitting atop the head of the colossal King Konga from the movie Godzilla versus Kong. And we need to be, all right, actually, and make it like a VFX scene of me with my friend Kong. All right. Now, what is the world of Kong? Kong world. I think it has a particular name. There's a name to it. It's like the upside down in Stranger Things. Um, but it has a name. I'm pretty sure because I watched the movie, but I just forgot the name. I don't know. With King Kong world. No, not Skull Island. Godzilla versus Kong. What is their world called? Yeah, the Hollow Earth. Okay, the Hollow Earth. Now I'm trying to work on my British accent, by the way, so excuse me if sometimes I sound like I'm using some fake Andrew Tate British accent there. But yeah, so yeah. All right, so here my friend Kong in the Hollow Earth. All right, so okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say another thing, the image size must be 900, not 1920 by 1280 pixels, that is. And the reason is because if you want your image to be a 16 by 9, which is friendly for movies, long form YouTube videos, then this is what you got to do. Okay. Now, of course, when it comes to animating, there is multiple tools on how that you can use to animate your video. But if you want animation with sound, then Google Veo3 should be your go-to. Okay, there is just no way around that, because if you try some other tool, chances are you might have a pretty nice image, but it certainly won't be a pretty friendly. Now here, this is unreal because normally Kong is much bigger than this. I would be the size of his ear probably. So I'm going to add something. I'm going to say Kong is significantly huge. Plus, I must be sitting atop his head, meaning skull. And the image, in the image, he's not aggressive. He's just walking in the hollow earth fields. Redo. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of like this image, right? I think this is cool. Me riding King Kong to glory, and you can see that it looks good. All right. I'm not going to lie. It looks really good. It looks like a bad case of Photoshop at the same time, because VO3 kind of just took this image and they kept the exact same image, and they just added a little bit from his body from the other picture, and they added the axe and they added the background from this image as well. So they kind of went lazy mode, but I sure do hope that they do a better job. Now here, this one is not such a bad job, but I'm not really sure if this is great. But I'm gonna have to go back and edit. I'm gonna say the image should be a 16 by 9. Now I have an idea about how we can work this out into a great animation using the starting and the ending frame, particularly using this as a starting frame probably. But let's just check this out. Let's see if this is going to turn out to be a pretty good image. By the way, if you're using Gemini, you get 3 shots at generating videos every day. So you can generate 3 videos with VO3 for particularly free every day. Now, this is one nice image. I like it, okay? I don't know about you, but I like it. Now, okay, so as for this one, I'm going to copy and I'm going to edit. I'm going to say edit the attached picture. I need to be on top of his head, and I need to be a bit smaller. Now, I mean, even though here this is not a bad one, but still, I mean, normally I shouldn't be this big. Normally, I mean, King Kong is gigantic, so I'd look like like a fly next to him. Well, okay, so I mean, it's starting to get a little weird. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy both prompts, and right now, instead of using an image of King Kong as a reference, I shall not use King Kong as a reference as an image. I'm just going to use the prompt directly. So let me just cut this, for instance. I'm going to go to a new chat, create images. I'm going to paste the prompt, but this time, since I couldn't get the results I envisioned, I'm going to go ahead and just simply change this with something else. All right, so I'm just going to put my image. Okay. and I'm gonna have to ask it to do a picture, except for I'm not gonna give it some images of Mr. King Kong because it seems like it pretty much didn't do a job as I expected. And so, therefore, I'm going to have to rely on its amazing capabilities without me giving it images as reference, which, by the way, that its capabilities are insane. So, you don't necessarily have to mention a bunch. So, here, as you can see, this one looks a bit better, but there is that issue. So, because I look like I'm kind of one with King Kong, I'm inside his skull. I need to look like I'm sitting on top of his head, not inside. All right. So slowly but surely, I mean, you're gonna get a pretty good image. Nope, 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 nope. No, this is not what I want. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more. A close-up image of me sitting atop the head. Uh, 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 the image. Okay, so let's just do one more. The camera view. I think I probably can adjust the camera view, maybe to try to achieve some pretty nice effect. That might help, but let's see. Let's see if this one is going to work. Now, if you have a picture of yourself and you want to have some fun, you can. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to say I am sitting on top of his head with my legs down, but not covering. Actually, instead of his head, I'm going to change it on top of his shoulder. I'm sitting on top of his shoulder. He is my friend. Okay, he is my friend. But here, I'm just gonna change this. Right, the Congress plus. I must be sitting on his shoulder, top his shoulder, or on his shoulder instead of a top. He's walking the whole earth, sitting on the shoulder of the colossal King Konga. Okay, so let's give this one more try. You could probably change the environment as well to New York City or whatever. That kind of could probably make it more dramatic, even. I think I could. Yeah, I think I could probably try that one if this result, if I don't get the exact result that I seek, could probably have more fun. Come on. Come on. I am much smaller than King Kong. The image is a close up. Okay, so here, instead of saying he's walking on the hollow earth, I'm not going to say anything related to that, and I'm going to leave it to speculation. I'm going to leave it to speculation for the AI to kind of play with the environment however it wishes, because I think that by putting restrictions or by putting limitations on it, by um, pretty much by forcing it to go for a particular environment, I think that that might limit its creative abilities. And so I just remove the environment whatsoever, and I'll let it decide which environment this is going to be at. All right, this is this is pretty nice. Finally, I mean, finally. Okay, so this one I'll definitely take. All right, now I'm going to say generate a different variation of that picture from a different angle not close up, medium, close up. All right, because I want to build maybe at least another frame so that we can particularly take both frames and make it look like a pretty pretty nice animation. Now, let me just go and open Leonardo AI, because I can also use Veo3 inside of Leonardo AI, and I can definitely also use Veo3 inside of 11 Labs, and I can also use it inside of labs.google, but I'm kind of opening the tools where I have some memberships still left. Let's check this out. This is good, definitely good, but I think that they didn't kind of get the point. All right, so in any case, I think I'm just going to probably use one frame. That's it. All right, so we have myself on the top of King Kong's head. I'm here, 11 Labs. Actually, I'm probably just going to use it inside Leonardo. But in any case, I have the video, the image. Now, if you want to turn this directly into a video using Google Veo3, it's actually pretty easy. You can just click on video on the new chat. You have to be in the new chat, all right? And then here, when it comes to Veo3, there is a pretty cool thing which is allows you to choose from different types of styles, okay? And so therefore you can choose from a bunch of styles. But to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of those styles. So I'm just going to drag and drop the image, or if that doesn't work properly, you can just copy paste your image, and then you can just go and type a prompt. So I'm going to say me and my friend Kong hanging out in the city of New York. Me and my friend Kong, or me and my colossal Titan friend Kong hanging out in the city of New York. Uh, I am laughing and I am so happy to be, towering over New York City on the shoulder of my Titan friend, King Kong. Amazing scene. Okay, so now all I have to do is to hit the submit request. Now, inside of Leonardo, I have a bunch of credits, but the thing is, um, I'm basically able to create videos using different tools as well. So I'll try Kling 01. I think Kling 01 can also give pretty good results. All right. You can go as far as 10 seconds, but I'm only going to go with 5 seconds. And I hope that they don't tell me that this is there is a restriction. All right, I'm probably going to use the same exact prompt that I used in Veo3, but you have to realize that now this is a problem. Okay, let me just delete this, because I should be in the 16 by 9. I mistakenly kept the 9 by 16 one. And now if you want 10 seconds, you need to spend more credits, but I think I'm going to go for 5 seconds. But the thing is, right here, this is 5 seconds, and it's not going to have any sound whatsoever, but that's not going to be a problem. So here, as you can see, it tells me that I'm getting a lot of requests. All right, so I get it. It's getting a bunch of requests. Okay, now let me just refresh this page. I don't know where it's getting those requests from other people, not me, but it shouldn't really be telling me this. Let me update. That kind of tells you, that there's a bunch of people out there also trying to generate your videos as well. Now, usually Kling does take about a minute and a half, close to 2 minutes at times, to generate even a 5-second clip, but they're all pretty nice. Now, other ideas you can get for VFX, you can go and search incredible VFX images. And here you can see that there is a lot of VFX stuff right here. Now, I have one in mind, which is to make myself like Iron Man, to kind of have the Iron Man suit, and then the Iron Man. I create a video where the helmet kind of pretty much is the last thing that kind of covers my face, and you can create like a deep fake, well, like a Hollywood type style image or video of yourself as Iron Man. Now here, notice how great this is. This is what I'm talking about. As you can see, this is amazing. It's 5 seconds, but it's amazing. I mean, come on, isn't that great? No sound, of course, but that's how, I mean, with Kling, that's what it is. You're going to get videos with no sound. Now, to download, you just have to click download right here, and you'll download it as an MP4. But I'm here for the real deal. I'm here for Veo3. So let me just go ahead and click to download this Veo3 video. The image that it generated was not entirely a 16 by 9. It's I think it's a 3 by 4, or it's a 4 by 3. So 4 by 3. It's the closest to 16 by 9, though it's kind of okay. Well, I can go with that, but let's just watch this. Now this has sound, right? So you're gonna be able to listen to the sound. But it's kind of horrendous. Okay, it didn't really turn out as I expected it to. Now let's try to animate this one. Okay, now let's try to animate this one. So I'm going to copy this particular image, and now I'm going to show you the power of generating videos with an image only, without adding any text whatsoever. So I put the image, clicked on video, that's it. Now I can also come over here and add a start frame, make it this one. Now my start frame is going to be this one right now on Kling. You can see that Kling really does impressive videos. Okay, me and my friend, all right, I am riding the colossal, ferocious King Kong and fighting monsters in the hollow earth. Now, because this is a longer one, probably going to go with 10 seconds, even though it's going to take a bunch of credits. But I think it's worth it, maybe, to have a scene like this. Now, it seems like Google Gemini is back at it again. I mean, it does do these types of, kind of weird stuff sometimes. So I guess I'm going to have to get to a new chat, create video. Let's try it again. But I'll try with a better quality video, a better quality image, that is. Copy. No, not this one. Not this one. It just stopped for a minute there for some reason. While it should have continued generating the video, it stopped. All right, I don't know why. Now again, let me try. Paste. Let's just run it again. I'm generating a video based on the image you provided. All right, so I mean, come on. It's still there's some kind of a glitch, I guess. There's some kind of a glitch, but to be honest, I'm kind of satisfied with these videos that I got using this one that I got. I put this in the course as well, so don't worry about it. If you're interested in making millions of views, they can get you a lot of views. So if you're lucky with it. But I just don't understand the reason why Gemini is behaving like this. So well, come on. Every time you're gonna harass me with a little thing. All right. So anyhow, now here, this, now the axe was pretty well, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I think that this is a pretty good scene, overall. It's just that axe was not interpreted pretty well. But in any case, I think this is good. So, I mean, about the Godzilla scene, right? VFX Godzilla. Now, over here, VFX Godzilla, I can't exactly remember where I got that picture. I think it's from a YouTuber, and he made it look like he was being chased by Godzilla, and just basically copied that and made it look like that. You can also create fake fights between characters like King Kong and Godzilla if you want. So let me show you. If you come over here, you can say, or of yourself and Godzilla. I mean, for all I care. So I could come over here and upload an image of myself. All right, let's just take this one for example. And I'm gonna say generate a 16 by 9 inches realistic 4K image of me as a colossal kaiju titan, and I am fighting with Godzilla. We tower over the city of Tokyo. All right, so let's run this. All right, so how about you are now the titan instead of you being pretty much riding a titan? Now you can even do crazy effects, like for example here, Daenerys riding Drogon. And I could take a picture like Daenerys driving it or riding a dragon, and I could basically just put myself in there. I could kind of look like I'm the one riding the dragon. But I think that Daenerys riding a dragon is not the best. Daemon, I kind of prefer Daemon, riding his bloodworm. Yeah, let's just try to find some pictures here. All right, this one is cool. So if not riding a dragon, I mean, I could generate a picture of me kind of next to a dragon. Though I'm pretty sure I can generate an image of myself riding a dragon, like bloodworm in this case, but I'm probably not going to do that. I was going to look for a decent one. I'm pretty sure this is a nice picture, but see if we can find some better one. Daemon and Caraxes. Let's see. This one is definitely nice. It's a definitely cooler looking image. I think I like it. All right, so okay, let's say for example I want to use this, but let's go back. So here you can see that it kind of made me a Godzilla. I'm not. I'm gonna say in as a titan, as a colossal titan. I am just a human titan. Okay, it must look like a real image. And at the same time, I'd probably take this image and just put it right here. But I mean, I don't understand why it kind of also made me like a Godzilla. Kind of transformed like into a being. I don't like that. I don't like that because you can get stuck in that kind of form. This is an insane video, but this one is definitely pretty nice. I mean, have a look at this. You can really have fun with Google Gemini. So if you're into creating movies, trailers, VFX effects, this is good. Now I have another one which I really want to do. I mean, this one is definitely not good. So I mean, I'm gonna overthrow this project. Now the one that I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to replace Daemon with myself. And so replacing Daemon with myself shouldn't be very difficult work. So I'm going to say replace Daemon, the Targaryen, with myself in the picture attached. All right, So instead of Mr. Damon, it will be me. And then hopefully you can use Google Veo3 to generate a video with me next to my dragon pet. You know, now don't get it wrong. I mean, Caraxes does look small in this picture, but that's because of the angle. The angle is not correct. I mean, he's usually a lot bigger than that. The angle is is where basically he's sideways and a bit further, so he looks like he's smaller, but he's much bigger. This should give you an idea about how big he is. And you can see it right here. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Replace me. I should be standing sideways as well. So I edited that prompt that I'm standing sideways because I gotta make sure that it kind of looks the part. It has to look like it's the real deal, the real thing. Now, are there any credits or are there any limits on how much you can use Google Gemini for? Actually, there is none. You can use Google Gemini for however much you want to use it for. In terms of how many images you can generate as many images as you like. And here, as you can see, this is not good. I must be standing sideways. All right, let's do it again. Sometimes this can happen. Sometimes you give it a prompt and it just doesn't do a thing because you can see that it kind of didn't change anything. I think the only thing it changed about Damon was it made him smile, so it copied my smile. It thought that probably it should keep Damon and just add my smile to his face. That's kind of a good thing, a great feature, copying other people's features into your face if you want to do that. But this is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. So this is a pretty nice image. Okay, so all right, I'm going to save this image right now because I don't want to get into that kind of same issue I got into earlier. I'm just going to say me and Caraxes, or Hamza and Caraxes. Now, Caraxes has become officially my dragon, okay, in this case. And so I'm going to go and just click on create a video, drag, and not actually, it seems like I've reached my video limit, even though it didn't generate the videos I asked it for. That's kind of another problem with Gemini, is that once you ask it to generate a video and then it fails, it still counts that credit on you. So it doesn't say, oh, well, we made a mistake. It kind of was not right. We got to give you back your tokens. No. Now here it's going to cost us 2,500 tokens for a VO3.1 video at 16:9. But I don't think that we need a full video. Just 4 seconds would be enough. And even if you lower the quality, doesn't do much. So I'm going to basically just generate this video. All right. And I'm going to try to formulate a good prompt. So here's the thing. In order to formulate a great prompt, I'm going to say, how can you best animate the image attached to make it look like a very cool scene of me submitting my dragon, Caraxes, write a VO3 short prompt. All right, so instead of me having to go and write a prompt that is not really nice, I could ask Gemini to write it for me, so that because it's pretty much it's programmed to write better. Okay, since Gemini is Google's behind Veo3, so therefore it knows better how to prompt it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Might be inaccurate, but I mean, notice that they kind of changed the angle. Okay, so write a VO3 prompt. Come on. I mean, I'm asking it to write a prompt and it's generating an image. That's kind of hilarious. All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna start a new chat here. Okay, this kind of sucks. All right, I'm gonna go to a new chat and make sure I don't have that create image option there. I'm just gonna paste. If it loads Nano Banana again, I'm just gonna close this show. Okay, animating the image. I didn't ask you to craft visuals. That's the kind of thing that really sucks about these tools is this. I mean, it's now generating a video, even though it told me that I'm out of credits. I'm gonna say, I said, give me a VO3 prompt, and it went and generated the video. So I'm gonna say, who asked you to generate a video? I said, give me a prompt for VO3. All right, hopefully it just does understand language. Now this is what I always find to be the thing that keeps ChatGPT a bit ahead of Gemini is this ultimate dumb behavior. Sometimes it does it, okay? Ultimate dumb behavior. Now, I don't see this much from ChatGPT, even though ChatGPT can be quite dumb in its own right, but not this much, okay? Not to the point where it cannot understand language. Okay, so here I'm gonna probably copy this one prompt. This I didn't read it. Just gonna paste it because it's kind of frustrating. All right, and let's get going. So this is gonna be a 4-second clip. And anyways, with VFX, with animations and so on, you don't want to create like a 20-second clip. I mean, you just want to create a short clip here and there, and have some fun. Kind of create multiple clips, and then the job of you as an editor, or your job as an editor, is to put things together, to grab all the scenes together, and to kind of cook them in your lab together, and so you can get a great scene. I mean, that's pretty much how trailers are done. In trailers, they don't necessarily show like a 20-30 second sequence of the same character. They just show multiple action frames, 2 second, 1 second, 3 second each at the most. You'll notice that in trailers, and they just put things together, and that kind of is what the reason that hypes up most people to watch. Trailers are very underestimated because a lot of times you watch a movie just because of the trailer, and then you find that, oh well, it wasn't worth it. I just simply was clickbaited into watching it because of the trailer. That's how incredible cinematic video editing is and VFX is, because it just kind of lures you in with giving you the juice of what a movie, the best scenes from a movie in a 1 minute or 2 minute time, and then you think the entire movie is like that, and then you go watch. It's kind of like those advertisements of burgers, where you see the burger, it looks like it's an amazing burger on the billboards, but when you go to the real deal place and you find it's actually nothing like what it looks like on the ads, and then you just are disappointed. But the bottom line is that these ads or these videos, they kind of make you take action, and that's the most important thing. In our case, as creators, taking action is simply watching. You want people to watch your content, and to make people watch your content, you just need to kind of do this stuff. I mean, exaggerating a bit, kind of like how I exaggerated here when I made it look like I'm chased by Godzilla. This might like be a good start for your movie if you want to create one. You can create a movie where you're the central hero. I mean, you're kind of like the guy, in the movie. I mean, you can actually create like a Targaryen trailer where you are the main focus, the main character. And you can have an entire YouTube channel just doing that, kind of like projects where you are the main character in multiple movies. I think that's a pretty good concept. If you want to start a concept like that, um, you can do that. Now, in the case of my channel, I've been struggling with the YouTube algorithm for a long time right now, because for this channel specifically. I mean, I'm not talking about all channels, but for this channel, it seems like YouTube is not able to understand what my channel is about. and so therefore I'm really having a rocky relationship with YouTube. So I don't get the views that I expect to get because YouTube find it kind of hard to pinpoint, which what my audience is. I still think that even 4 years or 3 years after creating my channel, they still haven't pinpointed what my audience is. I'm pretty sure that they still couldn't find it out. Even though for other creators, they easily can find it. They can easily tell what your audience is about from the first couple of videos that you release. And the sky's the limit from there for a bunch of creators. But for my case, it's one of those cases where I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait. I mean, it's 28, close to 28,000 subscribers right now, which is not bad because they're all organic. I never purchased any people or any subscribers, even though I can go overnight to 100 plus thousand subscribers. You can get 100,000 subscribers for $2,000 on some websites. Okay, so it's not a big deal if you want to get thousands and thousands of subscribers. But that's just not the way to do it because you're just gonna probably end up getting your channel shut down. I mean, it surprisingly is taking a huge time to generate a 4-second clip. Which kind of I don't know why. At the same time, you may feel free to check some other people's creations here, just so that you can get some ideas. Because when you're starting to create content with AI, you usually don't have a bunch of ideas about what AI can be used to do. It can be used pretty much for anything. Okay, so that's just the thing you need to put in your mind. Anything you can dream of, you can achieve with AI. So once you understand that, okay, so I just have to learn how to prompt this AI. Okay, if I learn how to prompt it, I can get it to do anything because people still are kind of surprised when they see certain amazing things that AI can do. But really, AI can do anything. It's just where your imagination is going to take you. Okay, so that's number one. When you understand that, then you just get what you want out of the AI. That's it. And AI, let me tell you, you should just use it as a vessel to convey whatever it is that you want to convey. For example, if we take this creator as an example, he just thought, well, you know what? I'm into creating books, okay? Coloring books. This in this case is is called a Mandela book. Now, usually if you zoom in more, you'll be able to see more definition. And this is pretty much for people that like to just kind of reduce their anxiety. They like to color things because that kind of helps them focus on the moment and focus on that activity. And this is also a business. Okay, so you can start a business completely selling books, selling coloring books. I have taught this in the past. If you were one of my audience, from my faithful audience, then I've taught this. Okay, because I was also selling these types of books at one time, and it's a pretty nice business to have, and it was doing extremely well. Not that it's not doing well right now; it's still doing good. But in life, you kind of move on and you try to do a bunch of different things. You don't want to do the same thing over and over, and that's my case as well. I just wanted to move on and kind of have more businesses, different business than just kind of being in the selling books business. But if you want to be there, it's completely fine. It's a pretty good business. Now here, this is the scene. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. It's 4 seconds. We've waited like 5 minutes for it. It's pretty good. I like it. Let's redo it. Now, I mean, it doesn't really look like the dragon is submitting to me. Even though I actually said it. But I mean, that's kind of typical of Caraxes, right? If you ever watch the movie or the series House of Dragon, Caraxes is not really a very good boy. I mean, he's not the type of dragon that would just be kind of do anything he's told. Okay, he's kind of like his master Daemon. They kind of are the same coin. They kind of weird, right? So they might be with you one moment and not this next moment. But it's kind of good because I mean you need a dragon to be ferocious. A dragon is not a sheep, okay? It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Looks like he was gonna attack me there, but it's pretty nice. All right, so I mean, this is it for this particular VFX or whatever you'd like to call it, video AI to do these amazing tricks. I hope that you've learned a lot. Now, there's a lot of case or applications of this. It depends on really what you want to apply or where you want to apply this in. But the bottom line is that know that you have some impressive tools at your disposal. If you have Gemini, you have an incredible tool. All right, you can do crazy stuff like this, like for instance, as I've shown you right now, like an animation of yourself with Caraxes, the dragon from pretty much from House of Dragon. I mean, that's insane. All right, so that's that. Wishing you the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z signing out.